Picture this. You have a long commute to work and just want to listen to a good podcast, but there are too many choices. Anime, film, comic books, science. What will you do? Well, never fear. We are here with all of your podcast needs. Welcome, all freaks and geeks. We are the Square Roundtable Podcast, a collective of Black nerds discussing all things anime, comics, science, and pop culture related. Please join us for our weekly podcast every Friday on squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Be there and be square.
Having viewed the full Apes story as a circle, writer Paul Dane crafted this fourth Apes film so that the ending could bring the story all the way back to the beginning of the first Planet of the Apes movie. Director J. Lee Thompson, who was initially courted to direct the original film, signed on to direct this one. As an avid fan of the series, he was happy to take the story in a newer and darker direction. Despite the character of Cornelius being killed off in the previous film, actor Roddy McDowall returned, this time to portray the ape revolutionary, Caesar, previously known as Milo in the last film. Ricardo Montalban's character, Armando, also returns for this one. This is considered to be by far the most violent of all the Apes films, and famously had to make changes due to a test audience's negative reaction to the movie's original ending, which was much more bleak and violent. However, the Blu-ray release of this film has incorporated the original ending, which is the version that we watched for this recording. So what did we think of this movie? Frequent collaborator and all-around maniac Sean Jarrett returns to help us break down this insane movie. So join Harris McCabe, Colin Shaw, and me, Matt McGregor, as we rebel against our oppressors and decide once and for all whether or not this fourth movie in the Planet of the Apes series of films truly deserves a license to watch. We watched the 1972 J. Lee Thompson classic, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. This is a show about franchises. Science fiction movie franchises. You're listening to License to Watch.
You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Why in the world was this movie made?
And then we probably need to sync you up, right? So maybe we should do. Yeah, you should do a clap.
Yeah, I'll clap.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. How's that?
I didn't hear the clap at all.
Yeah, it was like a soundless clap.
Maybe do another one.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe he's got like a. It's like it's like a peaking filter.
Or maybe you have like a sound gate on.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
Clap softer.
Clap as loud as you possibly can.
No, softer.
Not working.
Amazing.
Not working.
How about that?
Nope. This is great. Yeah. This is amazing. I see it happening, but it's
maybe just make like a pew pew sound or something with your mouth.
Pew pew pew.
No, but you have to do it real loud, don't you?
It's gonna be like pew pew.
No, the clap.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, clap like smack it.
He's been smacking the shit out of it.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be too loud for the. Well, I'll try again.
I don't know why we can't hear you.
It's pretty good. This is pretty good. I like it. I'm glad all this is being recorded too.
Yes,
I think this is exactly how the show should start. Because I'm not going to have enough to say about this fucking movie. So,
oh my God, there's so much to say. Frank Capra Jr. was an associate producer on this movie.
We talked about that the last time. I
Yeah,
love this. I do love this cold open where I was like spent like 5 minutes being like, did I put in the wrong movie? What the fuck is going on here?
I love that the opening shot is like it starts.
Wait, you didn't know with all the apes at the very beginning that you were watching a Planet of the Apes movie? What did you?
No, I didn't know that I was watching because I just watched the last one and it did not end with like a bunch of slave apes in color-coded outfits. In fact, just the opposite. There was almost no apes on Earth in the last movie, and now they have had like this. There's a subset of society of trained color-coded apes.
Okay,
Everything
Well,
will
that's
be
what
explained.
they want you to think. They want you to be in the audience and be like, "There's apes now."
Yeah.
We clearly have a lot to say about this movie, so let's get it going.
right.
This is License to Watch, and joining us today once again from the back of the house. Someone is approaching the ring. He looks angry. He looks sweaty and angry.
My God, it's Sean Jarrett.
Holy
It's Sean Jarrett.
shit. What would your like music be? Like your entrance music?
It'd probably be like a guitar.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, well, let me get to
or just hear me out now. I'm every woman.
Just every woman.
Disco anthem.
Oh my God.
That's Sean Jarrett's music.
He's flipping our expectation.
That's
Mr.
right.
Mr. Sean Jarrett is back again.
Yes.
Not
Thanks
in
for
person
having me.
though. Not in person.
Tragically.
No.
Tragically.
Yeah. It was supposed to happen, but it was not meant to be.
Well, all right. The movie we're talking about is the fourth movie in the Planet of the Apes series, an instant classic from the year of our Lord, 1973. Is that right?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I didn't do any research.
I'm a little thrown tonight because the lava lamps are all off.
Oh.
I'm a little, it's freaking me out, man.
I'm off.
Yeah.
Conquest of the Planet of the Apes is the name of the movie.
Yes.
Starring Roddy McDowell, starring
Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, and not many others.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty much a two-man show here.
Man, what's the governor's actor name? He was.
They say it like it's
okay
like we're
at
supposed
best.
to know who he is, but I don't know what else he's in.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him from much.
Yeah, if we have to play top four tonight, I think we're going to be fucked.
I think we're fucked because we already did Roddy McDowell
Yeah.
and we already did Ricardo
We've
Montalban.
probably done Montalban a couple of times.
1972 was the year. I looked it up.
Oh, 72?
Yep.
Okay. The year
It
of our
feels-
Lord, 1972.
It feels more 80s to me. I feel like they predicted, besides the ape stuff, they predicted what the 80s would be like.
Yeah, kind of. I feel you. It definitely has a different vibe than the rest of them.
Well, I do like that
Yeah.
they predicted that, I guess this helicopter is just sort of like how people get around now. Like, because he doesn't seem particularly rich, yet he's taking a helicopter into the city. So I guess they probably thought like, yeah, there's no way in the year 1999 people will still be sitting in traffic jams in these gas-guzzling death traps. We'll have to come up with some better solution by then. I'd say helicopters.
Here comes the
Yeah.
SS. I love that these guys.
Oh,
like,
they're so Nazi.
they're so Nazis.
Yeah.
Obvious.
They're
but
they're
it's
like Nazis or like posh New York City hotel doormen. I can't really tell.
Oh, wait, Sean, are you watching the movie right now?
I am not.
We could actually flip the computer around so you could see the TV that we're
All
watching.
right, sure.
Yeah, what would you rather watch, our faces or the TV?
Well, both are beautiful.
Equally lovely.
We're having
Yeah.
some technical difficulties here. ladies
Oh
and
no,
gentlemen.
no. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of. Now, which one is this? Is this the director's
that
cut
good?
that you watched or the theatrical?
This is the unrated.
Unrated.
Okay, all right. So I watched the rated. So this will be a nice treat for me
Oh,
Yeah.
to see the.
We think the
I
only
don't think
difference
there's a
is
real
the
big
end.
difference. Yeah, I
There's
think it's
Zira.
just the ending.
That's definitely
No.
the Zira mask. Did you guys see
Yes.
that?
There is one really big difference in the two films that doesn't come up to the very end, actually.
Yeah, I think that's most of the difference. I think is just the final scenes. We have seen the degeneration of the quality of these ape masks, and in this one, I was laughing so hard in the group shots at the beginning where they've got like really literally hundreds of people in ape masks. How like crappy the ape masks look, and also how like they're not even padding their bodies anymore. So some of these people are like really skinny, and they're supposed to be apes, but they look like they're starving.
There's a lack of consistency in the people's ape walks also.
Mhm.
Like some people are doing completely different ape walks than others.
Yep, some people are
Right.
just kind of bent over a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Some people
we're,
are just walking like people.
we're meant to believe, they're positing here that a disease from outer space came 10 years ago
Yep.
that killed all dogs and cats. Did it come, I forget, does it come just from random astronauts or did it
No,
come
came
from the apes?
the apes.
Oh,
Came
wow.
from the apes.
From the
It's a
apes,
self-
apestronauts.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago or 20?
20.
I think it was like 18 years ago, just about. Because I think this one's 1991 and the last one was 73 or something like that. So when we see Caesar here, he's, in the spring of his youth.
Yeah, which in that context, Ricardo Montalban's looking great. He has aged
Oh,
very
definitely.
well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looks dignified.
Well, it's the beauty of helicopter lifestyle.
Yeah. When you got helicopter money, you take
Yeah.
pretty good care of yourself.
But like
Exactly.
all dogs and cats die out, and this is all they get. Is this like the statue's like not even taller than a man?
Yeah. Also, you would think that like you don't go straight to monkey. You know, like that's not the random. Like it's you go capybara,
Capybara,
you
of
know,
course.
like maybe raccoon. I think
yeah,
there's a
raccoons.
lot of things you domesticate before
Ferrets
you get
are
to
already out
monkey.
there.
Yeah, exactly. There's already some semi-domesticated rodents that you would definitely hit before you got to monkey.
And does this mean that wolves and like lions died out also, or
Right? Yeah, probably.
Well, wolves have definitely had. Well, yeah, I mean, dogs and cats, right?
Significant
right.
ecological disaster.
Yeah, but I guess the point that they're making is that once you go monkey, you never go back.
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
ape. I should say. Yeah,
obviously
they don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And it's like once you go like ape as a pet, you have to go ape as a slave, according to
Right.
the logic
Yes.
of this movie.
Yeah.
I was watching this and Colleen like started watching it. And she's like, they just look like people in ape suits. They're not apes to me. Like,
Yes.
Right.
Like the new movies, they feel like apes. And I was like, yeah, they've been domesticated for 10 years. That's how it works.
A lot of damage.
I always think it's funny in this movie when they show actual chimpanzees that are supposed to be these chimpanzees babies, but like a full-grown chimpanzee is like half the size of any of these people, you know?
Right.
That
So
are
going
just-
back to the last movie,
And a
even
gorilla
this
is like
movie-
much bigger.
Yeah, there's this very confusing thing where sometimes the apes are bad ape costumes, like when they're in the cage, or when in the last movie when Dr. Milo is killed. There's like that gorilla, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't look anything like any of the other gorillas.
It looks like
And
the one
then
from
they-
Trading Places.
Right,
Worse than
exactly. Yeah, and then there's the classic ape suit, and then there's actual apes playing themselves.
Yeah.
Like, so are they all apes, or is there a difference between the two? Was a question I kept asking myself as I was watching.
Yes, the franchise in this movie specifically has no idea what the fuck it's doing and just kind of just plays fast and loose with all common sense and logic.
But yeah, in the future, all cities will be like one giant shopping mall with high rises over it, as we all know.
That actually sounds like a
yeah.
better feature than the one we probably will have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, the world is destroyed.
Yeah, I would love shopping mall for life if I could.
Is this woman reading the Bible while she's getting her hair brushed?
Well, don't you?
No.
Oh.
That's the light reading at the
Is that wrong?
salons in the future.
But what's funny about the slavery of these apes, though, you know, it doesn't sound funny when you phrase it like that, but it feels like a lot of this is just because people are lazy. Like the first scene is a woman is like, go grab that book from 5 feet away, and like only a domesticated ape could do that.
Yeah.
Do. I
Yeah,
love that
do-
they-
Oh yeah.
do
when they
and
say
no.
do,
They only
yeah.
have 2 commands. Like these apes are so smart, but they can't even handle like the dozen commands a dog can do. You know, like
Right.
Yeah.
they've got
And
no
then, like,
specifics.
Yeah, but they are the only commands they give them are do and no, but then they're like expecting them to do like really complex tasks. They're like, "Oh, these are the military reports for the other division."
Yeah.
It's like, why were you giving them to the apes?
Yeah.
This is the second time you fucked up my taxes.
Yeah.
It costed me money.
I said we're on DEFCON 3, not DEFCON 1.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
Stupid monkey. Yeah.
There's also a clear lack of diapers on all these apes, which I
Yes.
feel like would destroy society in of itself.
Yeah. Where's the separate but equal like ape toilets or whatever?
I think they're just going behind these buildings.
It's
It's
Just a huge pile.
just a pile back.
There's an the guy is constantly announcing. He's like, please go to the ape shit pile behind the building.
yeah, go ape shit.
Yes, go ape shit indeed.
I love how like the producers were probably meeting with their agents like when setting up this movie. And they're like, I don't know, we don't have a lot of money. Like, where can we shoot? They just look out the window of CAA and they're like, right here would be perfect.
Yeah.
That's literally the entire movie takes place in the courtyard of like, the CAA
It really
complex.
does. They don't even get out of it. Like there's no part, even like the fights and stuff later, like the war scenes and everything are all just like it's all just the
It's all here. Yeah.
the part of LA that nobody ever goes to unless you're rich and repped by CAA.
Yeah.
I
But
like that
again, the future looks better here. I mean, no cars, no no pollution. People are just walking around the
Or
one
helicoptering.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Like, honestly, seeing someone get like an injection from a syringe, even if it wasn't voluntary, would not make me upset enough to like have to shout something.
Yeah, I think I feel like it's kind of crazy that like he says he takes Caesar into the city with him, which didn't Caesar have a different name in the last movie?
Milo.
Yeah, it was Milo
right.
again.
All right, so he takes Caesar Milo into the city with him for some reason that's inexplicable to me. And I don't know that they ever answered that. They didn't ever explain why.
They're promoting the circus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
but
bringing
does
the circus to the city.
But does he need to bring the monkey the ape that everyone in the world is looking for?
Well, he's the cash cow because he's a super intelligent ape, so he could just pretend like, oh, I'm such a great circus trainer.
But like there should be like one rule of like don't ever talk in front of anybody. And like how could he not? I don't know. If he can't do that, like why would you risk bringing him there?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point is that he got enraged by what he saw.
But it just seems like one of those things like
saying.
manufactured stupidity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna write into your movie, this is the thing that makes him shout out and like blow his cover in front of everyone. It's
should be
like
something much
he's
more
just
brutal.
getting injected with a
Make
sedative.
it like a beheading.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah,
like something nasty.
A public flogging of this ape shall do.
right? Like because we've
like
already
now
seen them
they can't
abusing
even-
some of the
they
other.
can't even
apes.
go back to the circus. He said that one thing, and all of a sudden the guy's like, "No, we can't even go back to the circus." If that was what was at stake, like we might have to give up our home and our business and everything. Maybe just don't take him. You know, like maybe that's a smart play.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like when these people are this dumb, I'm like, how did you stay undercover for 18 years, guys? This is not great. But I guess
Well, I think
obviously-
people were distracted by the dogs dying and cats dying.
Right.
The plague.
Also, like I'm realizing that these movies take at this point a highly deterministic attitude. Like he has to become Caesar. He has to overthrow the humanity. Like all of this stuff is going to happen for sure.
The only thing that
one
isn't-
movie.
yeah, the only thing that isn't going to happen for sure is his name is definitely not going to stay consistently the same.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that isn't determined.
Well,
that's it.
you
That's
know-
he's Milo in the multiverse.
Is he Milo, and then when he chooses his name, he's Caesar, or was he Caesar before that?
No, Ricardo Montalban was calling him Caesar at the beginning.
I know.
They never call him Milo in this movie. I don't know why.
I think Ricardo. I think his parents named him Milo, and Ricardo Montalban was like, "Your parents were idiots.
Yeah.
I know your true name."
Yeah, I think Caesar's a
Oh,
little
look at
cooler.
this salad. It's looking delicious. I've got a great idea. But yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be called Aldo is what they talk about in the last movie. They say, oh, Aldo is the one who finally speaks up. And,
Yep.
Right.
and then he calls him Caesar, and then he chooses the name Caesar. And again, I have fond memories of this movie, but I think Harris's theory that they didn't know what they were doing at times kind of holds true.
It is all one big shopping mall, so maybe he was at the Aldo when he.
Wait, when did they say Aldo? I don't remember that name.
I think that's
when-
from the
when
Lawgiver.
Cornelius-
Oh yeah, Cornelius says
Yeah.
it.
Cornelius
Yeah.
is giving the breakdown of how everything goes in the last movie. I think he
Which
says-
also,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah,
was
yeah.
already bullshit because he didn't know that stuff in the previous movie.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
he had time to read while they were in space, I guess.
Yeah, I like this. I like how evil this governor is. He's
Oh,
like
yeah,
not
he's
even
the
like
worst.
not even kind of being okay about anything. He's just like, no, I'm the bad guy here.
Yeah.
Just kill them all. Like that's his answer for
Yeah.
everything.
If you can't
So-
tell by my black turtleneck,
Yeah, so many turtlenecks in this picture.
yeah. And I
They
also
look
don't know
great,
why
though.
his first lieutenant, like his most trusted advisor and assistant, has clearly a very different perspective on the ape issue than he does.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
how every time they use the word like slave or slavery, they're like, like you should
you
know
know,
about
hey.
this. And he
Hey,
just
black guy, you're into this,
the
right?
black guy, the McDonald, I think his name is, like,
Yeah.
he's a terrible actor. He has no reaction to anything.
Is he like a former like wide receiver or something? He looks like a pro football player to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, he kind of does.
That might be racist.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give
He
him.
looks like.
You know who he doesn't look like? He doesn't look like a pro baseball player.
Wait, what is he? Who does he look like? Is it Marcus?
Nobody would
Allen?
accuse him of looking like a pro baseball player at this day and age, but maybe back then.
He looks like a pro baseball player. There's like a specific pro football player that he looks like. I think.
I thought this was Rob Reiner for a second. I was like, wow,
No,
they got not Rob Reiner, Carl Reiner.
It's
I was
Clark
like,
Griswold
I
Sr.
can't
once again.
believe they got Carl Reiner to do this bit part. Yeah, you're right. It's Clark Griswold
Yeah,
Sr.
he looks kind of like that. Sort of.
Does
Yeah,
in that Marcus Allen and this actor are both black. That is pretty much it. And honestly, they're not even the same color.
It's not Jim Brown.
No, he definitely doesn't look like Jim Brown.
Do you think they got this guy to say these lines, or do you think that's a shot?
Colin, if you look in your phone enough, you will eventually find a black guy that looks kind of like this guy, but I don't think it's worth all this research.
I don't know if it's worth the trouble. You're right.
Yeah. Is Sean still with us?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh. I thought you left. He was like,
no,
it's too racist.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Good time to dip out for a minute.
What's up with this clock?
I was just getting a cigarette break.
Oh, nice.
What's up with
they have to know
Ricardo
what time it is.
Montalban's toupee that he's got on?
Yeah. Oh, but this guy though, I think his name is Culp,
The governor?
the inspector.
Crep or Crop?
Oh, yeah.
Culp. Yeah, he's somebody. He's Severin Darden, who is a big influence in the improv world of theater.
Oh. And this
Yeah.
is his big break. He's like, finally, I get to take
one
my
of them.
improv skills onto the big screen. Going to make my Hollywood move.
He's probably upset that they weren't improvising more.
He kept on trying to throw improv in there. They were like, no, it's not canon.
What if our legs don't work? No, we'll just go with the normal way.
I'm going to do this entire scene with my eyelids flipped inside out.
What if we're all construction workers now?
But this chair is actually a toilet.
Quick, give me a word.
I was going to say, give me a vegetable. Give me a vegetable and an occupation.
Okay, now it's actually Planet of the Lemurs and no longer apes. Well, how does that change things? Not very much. All right, let's go more extreme.
There's just a bunch of guys in rubber masks just like sweating their ass off like over his shoulder, like waiting for them to be done with this shit.
Sean, what is your connection to these movies? Do you enjoy them? Have you seen them before? What's your history?
Well, I just want to say that we're in one of the scenes now where the ape continuity makes no sense because we have as you said, trading places apes here. No, but this one was one of the big ones for me as a kid. I had seen, I think, parts of the first one and a good part of the second one. And then when I saw this one, it really blew my mind. And I still think it's pretty good, but maybe not as mind-blowing as it once was. But this got me into all of them, except for some reason, Escape, which I had only seen until recently. I had not seen until recently. And that one's really good.
Yeah,
I really like Escape.
It's got the lowest APMs. It's 8 per minute.
Right.
Of any of the movies, but yeah.
It's heavy on the two main apes.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah,
we were kind of hard on it. I mean, like I classically historically have liked that movie, but in watching it recently and talking about it with these guys, like it did kind of like we were kind of bagging on it that it takes a really big tonal shift and like. It starts off kind of lighthearted and fun, and then it ends up being this like incredibly tragic, like dark ending, which is kind of fucked up. And it did kind of drag in parts. It's not like this movie. I feel like this movie's a lot better.
This movie is fucking batshit nuts, though. I mean, like this is.
Oh yeah.
It was almost crazy enough to work too. It's just there's so many things about this that are bad or dumb. That I kept on like bumping it, like I kept on enjoying this, and then just having something smack me in the face with how stupid or poorly made it was, and I was like, "Oh man, they were so close!" Like it is totally insane, though. They've thrown all the rules out the window, and they're telling a crazy story for lunatics.
Right, and they way upped the blowtorch factor in this one.
The flamethrowers,
flamethrower, yes.
But it gets back to the one thing I liked about this is they're taking like a crazy sci-fi concept and just running with it, So which I think is they really haven't done that since this. The last movie was actually kind of more subdued because it was like, what if ape astronauts landed in the United States? And
that one was a lot more.
Yeah, it played out in a really grounded way. Whereas the second movie was like, hey, what if we had to make a sequel to a movie that couldn't possibly have a sequel? Well, how crazy would that be? All right, let's go ahead and make it, I don't know.
Yeah, that one's more like what happens if we introduce this into the world as you know it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones are more like, let's imagine a brand new world.
And this one is imagining a brand new world that's even crazier than a world where just apes rule the planet,
Right.
It's like, what if 20 years from now, people still rule the planet, but they've gone completely insane and they have ape butlers.
Right. Well, again, let's imagine our current world 20 years from now, and I imagine it will be pretty crazy. We'll probably all have flamethrowers.
What are they training these apes in the disco room?
To get beaten under disco lights. These are club apes, Colin. Apes have to be able to.
Yeah, they're being clubbed at the club.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
If you got to serve cocktails at a violent mosh pit, they're
probably teaching them the difference between the two words.
This whole scene is.
I also don't know why they're
the flamethrower apes.
I don't know.
Avoid flamethrower.
I also don't know why they're like taking Caesar on a tour of this. He's like, hey, look at these apes being tortured, and now look at these apes being tortured.
Well, first you'll be beaten, and then you'll be burned.
Roasted.
Yeah.
This is the club room.
This is the part where we shock your brain from the inside out. This is a lot like my college orientation.
And again, the masks are just always so shitty on every ape but Caesar, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it has a vibe though. Like it makes it very clear that these apes are slaves and they're being tortured, and it's a really bad system.
This reminds me of a Bond movie, though. This scene.
Oh yeah,
it's because of all the multicolored suits.
Yeah, and also just like the Q lab. Yeah.
I think this one's got my favorite look to it of all of them. The rest,
the architecture is good. The
architecture
is really great.
Are great, but they're mostly just we're out in the desert.
What the hell is the hay room? Why did they just put them in hay? Here, rummage through the hay.
No diapers, so what do you do?
Yeah, okay. That's a good point.
Fair. I don't know, but it makes it better when later on in the movie where there's just scenes of him just getting as many weapons as he can. Those scenes are made better by the fact that
there's a big missed opportunity for him not to have one of those pitchforks for all the hay.
Oh my god. Yeah, where's
and starts stabbing people with it.
And as a former circus ape, he's probably familiar with pitchforking hay, so it's not like that's look how bad these masks are. They couldn't find the featured. They've got to have 3 chimpanzees in the room with him for close-ups and stuff, and they couldn't find 3 better masks. You'd think they would have said, "Listen, dude, we need 3 good chimpanzee masks and 3 good gorilla. We can the crowd scenes, whatever, but we do have close-ups on some of these guys. Look at that."
I think Roddy McDowall has really upped his game in his ape movements and his he does this weird thing with his hand. He's always kind of clutching his chest with an eagle claw kind of a hand. I think that's really cool. Whereas in the previous movies, he walks with a really dorky
well, Cornelius is not the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's different ape.
Yeah,
playing a different ape. I think
different walk.
I agree. This is my favorite Roddy McDowall performance so far. Although I do not understand why he was not raised by his parents. So why doesn't he have an accent like Ricardo Montalban?
Exactly. I do want to point out, Harris, when you said, I just want to say as someone who used to be a circus performer, I thought at first you were talking about yourself. So.
As a former circus performer.
There you go.
What would Harris have been in the...
I love how in the beginning of this movie, he's explaining to Caesar and thus the audience, catching you up if you didn't see the previous movies. He's like, remember your parents, Cornelius and Zira?
And you were completely high during the last movie, so I have to explain it again.
Why is he just telling him now?
The hand washing here, this reminded me a lot of my kids. Beating them until they wash their hands correctly.
He shows off
shooting them with
flamethrowers
until they got it right.
10 seconds, 20 seconds.
When he washes his
humming
hands,
"Happy Birthday" to you as he's washing his hands.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's showing off though. I'm surprised they didn't beat him right there.
This ape is too smart.
Yeah,
the security guys. The security guys sitting there man, he washes his hands better than I do.
I know exactly. That would make them mad, and they would start beating him. It doesn't make sense in the story.
There's no sense to these training methods that they have here. They're all just gathered around. No lines. Get in lines.
Also, I mean, just logistically, apes are 4 times stronger than humans. even
Right.
chimpanzees or something. So like you got a bunch of guys with billy clubs, and then you're gonna have hundreds of apes in the courtyard. It wouldn't take genius apes to be like, hey, wait a minute, why don't we just murder all these humans and rip their limbs off? Like there's, they might not even think ahead to the fact that, okay, yeah, the machine gun guys might come out, but right now we're dealing with like 5 armed guards, and there's like 100 of us here.
I also love too that like the theory, like their move for every shot almost is like, okay, we'll put the real good looking prosthetic monkeys up front, but then immediately behind them is everyone with these like shitty rubber masks. And like they're like, no one will ever be able to tell in these movie theaters, these 35 millimeter movie theaters. What do you think in the future they're going to invent something like high definition where they'll be able to pause and see all these?
I'm always just looking at the back of the crowd and seeing these masks that don't move that are just terrible. But also just like the size of them, like in the first movies, they had like a heft to them even when they were wearing clothes. And now it's like they're all just like normal people shaped, And this is, I guess these are supposed to be babies, but like that's like looks like it's a half-grown chimpanzee.
Right. So this is the scene where he's forced to have sex, but everybody's into it.
Yeah, I like that he gives like a little Michael Jordan shrug. Like she gives him a look and like a little wink or whatever, and he's like, is like, oh well.
Yeah, well, I saw it
rough
more
life.
like I guess I got to do my duty here. Now, is this the same ape that he has been seeing throughout, who eventually becomes his? Lisa.
I think so, but it could be.
I think it's really hard to tell, but I think it
tell.
is. But based on the law of not many good masks to go around.
Yeah, I don't know
think
if
it
it's
probably
supposed to be her, but it's definitely that. It's definitely her mask.
I got the sense that it was supposed to be her.
Yeah.
But her movements and her facial expressions in that scene are different than the whole rest of the movie.
Well, weren't you saying that they cut that scene way too short?
That's definitely a Colin complaint.
Sean didn't watch the unrated version where that scene goes on for
full penetration. It's really it was actually
the audience has never seen two chimpanzees have sex before on film, so let's do that.
It's weird that they just cut in like actual documentary footage from a zoo of chimpanzees fucking. Like we wouldn't notice that the faces look so much better.
And the narrator.
Yeah, it's Richard Attenborough.
They just leave the audio.
Look at the apes as they make love. So majestic.
Majestic thrusting.
Look at how much ape semen there is. It's a prevalent amount. Oh, it's got on the camera lens.
He's an attentive lover. He's reaching around and caressing her bosom. And he cuddles a full 5 minutes afterwards.
Wow. This is something that no one has ever seen before, except me several hundred times. This is my personal collection, actually.
Apes rarely 69 in the wild, but in captivity.
When you force them to.
Yeah. You have to yell, no.
Yeah.
Make them
do.
Yeah, do. There you go.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is the scene that we're watching now is the ape auction scene, which is kind of weird because the governor here decides all of a sudden that he really wants Caesar to be his personal pet based on his intelligence.
He has a feeling that this is the ape, like the mythical speaking ape that the rumor has.
Yeah, because they know that he got away from Ricardo Montalban, and they never. I don't think they explicitly say it, but then later when they find out that it is him, he's like, "I knew it."
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah. Also, it's obvious, and like if he knew it the whole time, why didn't he kill him earlier?
Yeah, seriously.
Wait, sorry. Did we miss the Ricardo Montalban death scene already?
No. It's still ongoing. He's still being tortured.
Remember, he has to go all the way to the central command.
Don't they shine that big light bulb on his head that makes him?
Yeah, the truth light bulb.
Yeah, the truthinator.
That was one of the stupidest parts to me. I don't know if you guys were following along with that part, but it was literally just a big light bulb, and they didn't even try to explain the pseudoscience of it.
It's the future, and they have what I thought was cool is like the hay room, like the it's like an invisible light barrier.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he gets burned. You know, that's kind of cool. They didn't have to explain that.
Yeah, but
I could have used the lie detector explanation though.
Yeah.
I also-
I mean, we watch enough Star Trek to just assume that thing does something magic, basically.
True.
Did any of you guys like? What do you guys think of the piece of art that's hanging on the wall? Does it look like toilet paper to anybody else? I just feel
see
like
it
it's like
now.
rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah.
I didn't think that at the time.
At the
but
time, I
now
thought it
see
looked cool.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's
Well,
nice. That's a nice piece."
It
of
makes
art.
sense with all these apes walking around. You got to have a lot of toilet paper.
It is a very monochromatic world. I feel like that's why Colin hasn't really warmed up to this movie yet, and I feel like it's because he likes a little more color in the world. He likes a little more
production
pizzazz.
design. I like all the architecture and production design.
We were talking about the look of this movie earlier and how it's Sean. You said it was your favorite. I think this is the only one that's filmed like a certain way. It's like, do they use anamorphic lenses or something? It's like they do
use
something different on this one.
Yeah. They use something called Todd AO, which
Oh
is
yeah,
a
yeah. I wrote
specific type of anamorphic film, whereas the rest, I think, were all Panavision cameras and their film stock. But it ends up, I couldn't tell you anything beyond that, but it does make for sort of a unique look that makes the film stand out. Though if you watch the theatrical version, the end especially, there's so many weird close-ups that the whole film has like a weird look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the end is just the close up on Roddy McDowall. You can see inside the mouth, which is like
I hate that. I hate that.
The double mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you just slightly change the angle so you can't see that, or use
Or
I
just
don't know,
go into
lighting?
post and fix that.
Well, they didn't really have the
Yeah, I know,
post
I'm
back
joking.
then. Yeah.
Posts weren't invented yet.
Yeah,
That's why
they should have put
fences
a-
were so bad.
Yeah. Which explains why this riot is so bad, because they couldn't put them behind fences.
Hey, look, there was an actress. Did you guys see that?
I saw
she,
her.
she had lines and everything.
A girl,
said so.
yeah.
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 Oh, I didn't have the subtitles on this whole time. How dare
Yeah,
I?
not many lines for women in this version.
Well,
this film.
this future is clearly fascist. Like we've seen the Nazis already. Like the turtleneck thing. It looks like you have to wear a turtleneck if you're in a certain class.
I think that's just the fashion.
I don't know. It may be required.
Like how now we all have to wear. What do we have to wear now? I don't know, something for fashion. This has never been a great series for female speaking parts.
Except for Zira. But
Yes,
she's
Zira.
an ape and not a human
But
being.
she had a fairly. She had a decent role in the first two movies, and obviously a very big one in the third one. But you had the dumb scientist in the last one, and then the non-speaking cave woman in the first two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much Zero doing all the heavy lifting. And in this one, you don't even have that.
Nova was her name.
This scene when Caesar chooses his name would have been way more impactful if he was,
There was a
actually
reason?
changing his name. Like if his name was Milo and that now he went with Caesar, or like he had a portrait of Caesar on his wall and he points to him, or like something cool, symbolic like that, you know. But
Why was he even doing that at all? Like, why? I didn't get that whole scene. Like, why do we see him like not able to make a drink when he is able to make a drink?
Because he was faking it.
Yeah,
He didn't want him to catch on.
But if he was faking that, then why did he like pick his own name out of a book that he's not even supposed to be able to read?
I don't know. Because
shut up, Colin.
I don't know why
Just watch the movie. Just,
Okay.
Why do you have to ruin everything?
I think it would have been funnier if he like sat down with a book and like thumbed through the pages casually and was like, yeah, it's
It says right here, you're a turd.
It'd be funny if he pointed to Caesar, but the guy like read it wrong and he like thinks he's pointing to the word next to it. And he's like, I don't know what would be next to Caesar.
Or no, like Caesar, like
Mark.
definition number 2, a salad.
I assumed it was a book of Shakespeare, not a dictionary, but maybe it was a dictionary.
You're pointing to. I think he's pointing to the word cheese. We shall call you Cheese from henceforth.
Yo, cheesy.
He's picked his name. He's picked this name, Kaiser. He corrects him. It's like it's pronounced Caesar.
It's Caesar, you dope.
Oh my God, he talked. And then the movie's just over in 5 minutes.
This one guy just shoots him.
We got him.
End. Oh man.
Um,
Ricardo Montalban is wearing riding boots through the entire film, which is
When he first
great.
walked into the scene and they opened up the door, I thought he had no pants on. I was like, what kind of torture are they doing? He's got very
Okay,
flesh-colored riding pants.
I think there's a reason behind that because it wasn't until I was reading a little bit about this, but I realized that on the poster, Caesar is supposed to be riding a horse.
Oh.
So the idea is that I think he taught Caesar how to ride horses. And if you go back to the first movie, all the apes know how to ride horses. So I think it's supposed to be saying this is how they learned how to ride horses.
Because he learned in the circus as part of a circus act, but then that's why all the apes in the future ride horses instead of just driving cars like normal people.
yeah.
He's like,
or
"Damn
riding
it,
around in helicopters.
Why did you never teach me how to pilot a helicopter? That would have been terribly useful.
Yeah.
but does he ride a horse in this movie, or
No.
only on the poster?
It's only on the poster. I think there's a lot of stuff in this movie that script wise and film wise they just cut.
He doesn't even ride a horse in the unrated director's cut.
You know, the
Because-
producers saw
yeah.
that horse scene in the script and they said, nay. What, Harris? Is there a problem? Is there a problem with what I just said?
You know, Colin, every once in a while you get a good one.
You got a good laugh out of the other two. I had to be a holdout there. I just wasn't impressed.
I appreciate that.
Well, you know,
Can't win them all.
yeah. Someday I'm gonna have to just ride off into the sunset, I guess.
Now you're pushing it.
Yeah, that wasn't my main thing. Hoof. It's like
No,
an onomatopoeia,
no,
but
no.
it's also the word for a horse's foot.
No, it's not.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
just say no.
Yeah, you can't just say horse parts at this point. Like, hey, horse penis. You guys like that joke?
Why can't I?
And yet it got a good laugh.
You're
that's true.
upsetting Harris now. Look, he's got a long
right.
face.
Oh man.
Oh, I do love that right before he dies, he yells, hell no.
Oh, that's
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah.
His last line is hell no.
Hell no.
Oh yeah, I forgot he dies by throwing himself out a window.
How could you forget that? It's so memorable.
It's awesome.
They insist he fell to his death accidentally.
Yeah.
They were just questioning him, and then he just accidentally fell out the window.
And here's
And
where
this-
we get to the point where Caesar develops psychic powers.
Right, exactly. This is where I think watching last night, at least in the theatrical version, the movie jumps a bunch of steps and just immediately starts with he's in charge of a revolution like right away.
Yeah. This
And
could
he's
have been
communicating with them with his mind.
this could have been an 8 to 10 episode mini series of just this movie, like what happens here, because they just it's like you said, it's like they have to skip steps because they can't get it all to happen in the span of an hour and a half. And I'm not calling for this movie to be any longer. I think it's an appropriate length.
This movie is 1 hour, at least the theatrical, 1 hour and 27 minutes, which is like super short.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the unrated's like an hour and 32 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
much longer. It really doesn't overstay its welcome, which is one of the positive things I can say for it.
I can hypothetically see a shorter cut of it as well. There's a lot of like apes just milling about the fucking
Yeah.
places
You could have
getting
tightened this
beat.
up a little bit,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. They
But-
didn't have a lot here to
But
work with.
I do think it's like it's one of the as much as I would. Oh, there's a double mouth.
Oh yeah, you can see his mouth.
Yeah.
So it looks like on the inside they just painted his whole mouth black, like his skin. And
Yeah, unfortunately, his teeth sometimes
yeah.
pop out
Yeah.
there. But this is the part that I feel like there's like a lot of like little plot holes or things that don't totally make sense in this movie, or stuff that they don't totally explain that they probably should have. Nothing is more confusing or more it could have been explained more than this thing where he just stares at apes.
Well,
Right.
And
I
they see
think we're
him.
supposed to assume that some time has passed. And,
Are we?
I mean, that's what
I didn't
got
see.
out
I
of
didn't
it.
see anything.
They
to
say like
indicate
they say a month, but I don't think this is the end of the month. I think
yeah.
there's like a scene in Escape where Zira is sitting with the chimpanzee and she says, "Oh, we understand each other." So I think the idea here, and then Caesar in the cage with the orangutans kind of calms them all down without saying anything. But like apes do not communicate telepathically as far as I know. I haven't seen that episode of Planet Earth yet, but it does feel like all of this is just happening like really fast. I mean, right now they're already starting the revolution and getting ready for it. And they could have just stretched it out. I'm not saying the movie needs to be longer than an hour, 30 minutes, but maybe just in a couple extra minutes to explain what is happening here.
I really like these scenes in the underground though, where he's just like standing behind the desk and they just bring him stuff. I don't know.
And I really like those moments where you have the zoom to Caesar's face and he's got such a freaky looking face and he's like dead serious. I like those moments. I just need more. I just needed a little bit of an explanation to be like, to see it coming. And you're right, Sean. There are moments they build in that he clearly has some power over.
Fuck up this guy's day. Paint his socks.
Paint his socks. He just gives them the look and they just immediately
I have to say, the shoe shine guy painting his white socks with shoe polish should just be what every shoe shiner does when you wear white socks with black dress shoes. That should, unless you're Michael Jackson, come back from the dead. I just don't think there's any reason for you to be wearing white socks.
What if you're
with dress
Michael
shoes?
Jackson and you haven't come back from the dead? No.
Well, then I don't think he'll mind if you paint his socks. At least
well,
his
we
problems.
should go do that tonight.
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
We
Let's
can go
dig him up and give it a shot.
Oh no, I shouldn't have said this. Oh yeah,
I bet that day where they filmed Roddy McDowell standing around staring at people was probably his favorite day of filming.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It's just standing around.
All right, now Roddy, now give him the look. And beautiful Roddy, we got it.
Hold hold that one.
Give him the look. Roddy, the look. Roddy, the look. I'm doing it.
It's this damn mask.
No, do.
I need a juice box.
That's all they probably could drink. They had to drink through a straw.
Because the straws.
Roddy, you won't get your lunch banana if you don't do.
Now, in the theatrical version, does this female ape, she does something at the end, right?
Yeah, she says no. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that. I think I had remembered that happened, and in the unrated, it does not happen. And I was like, oh, shit.
She says no to like more killing or what?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's why in the unrated version, it's just like more killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, I think, the better choice.
I for all the complaints I had about this movie, and there was a lot of stuff that I liked too. But for all the complaints I had, one of my biggest complaints was that anytime apes fight with humans, in fact, I think we're coming up on a time right now where a gorilla is going to go nuts in their like main base here, and it takes like 2 guys to take him out. And then later the governor actually like holds his own against an orangutan briefly in a fight. And I'm just like, no, that's not how like these animals work. They're much stronger than we are, and they would just be shredding us and ripping us limb from limb and then beating us with our ripped off limbs. And you never really see that until the end of this movie when you actually get some, in the unrated version, you get a lot of blood and a lot of just guys getting bludgeoned to death. And it's really no contest. And I was like, yes, finally, an actual accurate version of what an ape versus man fight would look like.
Well, I love all the ape man fights because throughout every ape man fight, they do ADR of all the guys going, ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ow, ooh, ow, ow. And they just repeat that over and over again. So
I love all the phones that they talk on, like don't have any cords connected. That's supposed to be like a futuristic.
Yeah, nailed that one.
Yeah, there's a lot that this movie gets right about the future.
There's a close-up where one of them is using a phone and you can see how they one of them's using a phone and you can see where they taped over the part where the
I just saw it, the red phone.
Well, that's because when they figured out how not to use the cords, they were like, oh, we should just tape over this part where the cord goes. They're like, we don't need this anymore.
Someday in the future, we're like, oh, we didn't ever need this.
Hey, this phone's wireless now. What do we have this hole for?
Someone get me a chimpanzee and a roll of tape.
A roll of red tape for my red phone.
I can't do this. Only a chimp can do this. Yeah, this room is,
exactly.
This is a very Star Wars-y room with the lights and the cool table with the pushy like putt things.
Yeah, the little
I 100%.
battleship.
I
ding.
100% agree. But like, what do they do there? Like, aren't they still just mall security guards?
I
They
mean,
do
the
a
whole
lot
world
of
is a
data
mall.
analysis. Yeah.
Shut up, Colin.
Just watch the movie.
What don't they do there?
Is this just glorified
That
Paul
guy in
Blart?
the back is just arbitrarily pushing buttons.
This is their
Yeah.
secret bunker full of flashing lights and buttons.
Yeah.
But, like,
well,
are
see
there-
this button here.
Look, there's an
blinks.
oscilloscope on that wall that's measuring. I don't know what an oscilloscope
What is
measures.
the government of this place? Is this the government of North America? Is this California? Is this, a city state? Is it like?
You know, we didn't do a plot summary.
Ooh, yeah.
Should we do it?
I
Fuck.
guess so.
47
You say-
minutes in.
You say we? I don't know.
Is it me?
I think it's
It's
a,
you.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. All right. You ready?
yeah.
All right, go.
Okay, the film begins in a city where apes are slaves and they all wear little jumpsuits and they're doing like slave stuff. Ricardo Montalban shows up with Caesar, who is the son of Cornelius and Zira, and he's grown to full adulthood, and Ricardo Montalban's older. They've been in the circus. They start walking around trying to promote the circus, and then Caesar accidentally talks, and they get in trouble, and they get separated. Caesar gets enslaved, and eventually Ricardo Montalban dies. Caesar, as he's being enslaved, decides like, this shit ain't no good. There's a lot of apes getting tortured, and oh wow, I just found out Ricardo Montalban died, so I'm gonna start a revolution. And so he starts gathering a bunch of weapons and working secretly and like convincing the apes to do bad things. And then they're about to catch him, and his one friend, helps him survive, and then they basically like have their revolution and they kill like a bunch of people. And then he gives a big speech about how he wants to kill people, and he thinks he should because slavery's bad. And then they kill the governor.
Yep.
Am I missing anything? I didn't talk about his like lover.
You forgot to elaborate. At the end, they just like beat all the humans like to a bloody pulp to the point where they're just like churning the butter of their brain matter.
I thought we might cover that later.
And a lot of the a lot of the fighting, a lot of the weird like where the guys with machine guns keep on lining up in alleys and the chimps keep on running at them, but then will attack them from behind. Also, you said Ricardo Montalban dies. You didn't mention that Ricardo Montalban died because they're going to make him tell the truth about Caesar being the super smart chimp, because that's like the big bugaboo and the driving factor of the plot is that this governor is convinced, even though they machine gunned a baby chimp to death with Zira and Cornelius, he is convinced that chimp actually survived somehow.
And he's right.
And is going to lead a revolution. And he's right. And he's like a maniac about this.
Yeah.
And
this governor has been listening to their equivalent of InfoWars about the conspiracy.
Exactly. But in this case,
there's no way that chimp was actually killed. It was a false flag operation.
That's true.
That chimp was a crisis actor.
He was.
numerous lawsuits about this.
So hold up. What this movie is missing, or what all these movies are missing for me, is okay. So like the theory is that the apes come from outer space and they say we're gonna have a kid and it's gonna grow up and it's gonna like lead a revolution, and ultimately this is gonna be a planet of apes and humans will be like a lesser being. And everyone's like, shit, we gotta kill these apes so that this doesn't happen. No one ever asks like, wait, isn't that like, are we playing into the future? Like, is us killing the apes, and like upsetting them, is this actually making the
will
future
us murdering
happen?
all the apes upset them?
Yeah.
Well, that would require forethought and sensitivity and
if they had any of that, then none of these movies would happen.
Yeah.
I 100% think there
We're
should
the
be
real
a scene
animals.
with a guy who just says, hey, like maybe we should just like chill out.
Yeah, like the governor's like, we need to kill all the apes and kill Caesar, and then some guy's like, oh, sir, don't you think that by us doing this, it's actually causing the Planet of the Apes to happen?
Kill that man.
Silence you. Silence, Colin. That guy's name is definitely Colin.
But also, wouldn't they? I feel like this is not like some slippery slope of having, bringing thousands of apes into your city is not like something that you're like, oh, we were so worried back then about how the world's going to get taken over by sentient apes. Maybe we shouldn't have imported all of them into the city so they outnumber us like 3-1.
I think we should increase the apes.
Yeah. I disagree. I think more apes is probably the best protection from the apes.
I vote more apes.
Yeah.
But sir, look how human-like they've become after just 10 years of domestication.
This is
Don't
how
you think.
This
Yes,
is how
but I need that book badly.
I gave my ape butler by power of attorney. I don't see any problem with this.
Well, this world doesn't have Amazon, so they need somebody to bring their 2-day shipping.
This is the problem. Jeff Bezos is the only thing keeping us from total ape takeover.
He probably saw this movie and thought of Amazon.
Exactly.
He was like,
I know books.
the only way to avoid the Planet of the Apes is for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, that honestly though. Feels
I want to
like
see him do a press
some dumb
release. I want to see him
Elon
do
shit.
Yeah, I want to see him do a press release where he demands that we thank him for preventing the Planet of the Apes.
Oh boy! All right, this is the time when we usually play top 4, but I don't know how we're gonna do it.
Let's just like pick a random actor. Who acts? Who does acting?
Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne.
What the fuck?
Top 4 of Gabriel Byrne. For no reason.
Oh, I think this set is pretty cool. I think it's this one. There's one set that I thought looked really awesome.
But the set you're looking at, you're not sure.
Well, they haven't
This is
shown,
just a-
they
this is
haven't
just a
shown
room.
the wide. Yeah. Oh, here.
That is pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Like
what's
that
up with that
doorway.
door that like is crooked?
And
Oh,
like
love
the
it.
speaker box is like looks like Tim Burton designed it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, this is all very much
this
like
room
from
rules.
like a Fritz Lang movie or
like
something.
you could see like what is that?
I was too distracted by the thrusting ape balls. at the same-
Yeah.
He's got a lot of hip thrusting going on here.
yeah.
All right, top 4, Gabriel Byrne.
Guest goes first.
Filmography
Sean.
known for.
All right. So this is what he's known for.
According to IMDb, give me 1.
Okay. Usual Suspects.
The Usual Suspects is correct.
That is a good guess.
Wow, that was good. I'm gonna go. Oh shit! What's the name of that movie?
Were you trying to think of the one with Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, that's the one I immediately started thinking about.
No, wait, I don't even know which one that is.
I'm the devil.
I'm gonna say Hereditary.
Damn it!
Hereditary is correct.
Damn it! You took
good,
mine.
yeah.
Not only did you take mine, you took the only other one I could think of.
Oh, you fucking said Gabriel Byrne.
Not because I had a lot of answers, just because it was the first name that popped into my head. Shit.
There's a big one that you're not thinking of.
Well, there's probably a few big ones. He's a famous actor.
Yeah, but I think this one would be there for sure.
That doesn't always mean what you think it would mean.
Yeah, I know he's in so many.
He's in a lot of things. I am totally blanking though.
Yeah, he definitely plays the devil in like more than one movie.
It's in the Schwarzenegger one, and I can't even remember the name of that
Yeah.
one. Fuck.
That one's called like
I
I
got
must
it.
kill the devil.
Must kill the devil. This is the title.
The devil is under arrest. I'm a cop. You're the devil. You have to go to jail now.
I'm church cop. Oh boy.
the
I have
fire.
to save these people. These people from the devil. The people need to be saved from you. I'm a very big Christian.
Damn it, Satan! Stop torturing these people.
Stop tempting.
This is great. So what's your guess?
Sorry. I'm thinking. Oh man.
Well, you know, my guess has something to do with religion. I would say for Gabriel Byrne.
I'll just pass and let Sean guess.
No, well, Colin can go.
Colin's
I'm the
running
host.
thing.
He can't go.
I'm looking at
Oh.
the answers.
All right, that's a good point.
I could
well,
win if you want.
Yeah, you'd probably be pretty good at this one.
Well, now I'm gonna feel like a horse's you know what if I don't get this right. But Miller's Crossing.
Miller's Crossing
damn it.
is correct.
I should have known that one.
Wow. It's on
The
me
good thing
now.
about
Yeah.
that is the cross. It's good against Satan.
So there's only one
Pretty
left.
bad.
I'm going to say end of days.
End of days is correct.
Oh, it was. Oh my god.
and the cop.
This is the saddest part is that I couldn't remember End of Days, but you guys guessed the first two ones that I thought of, and I should have gotten Miller's Crossing. That's terrible. I got 0 and I deserved 0.
Is he also the devil in I forget the name of this movie, but it's like the term for when like Jesus's wounds on the cross. Like what is
Stigmata.
that? Stigmata.
No,
I've
that's,
seen that movie.
He's not in
Is
that.
he even in that? Yeah. I
No,
don't think he's in
that's,
that.
I'm gonna Google
In
Stigmata.
my mind,
Patricia
he was
Arquette.
always in that.
Yeah, I
And,
saw that. I saw that in the theater.
It's probably just End of Days that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Is End of Days the one where he's in a restaurant and he reaches down and honks a woman's boob and kisses her, and then he leaves and the entire restaurant explodes?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does
Gabriel
some freaky
Byrne-
stuff in that.
Is in Stigmata, but
Wow.
he plays Father Andrew.
Oh yeah, he's the good guy in Stigmata.
Oh,
He's
okay.
helping Patricia Arquette. Yeah, that's right.
You've turned the corner, Father. Help us with the stigmata.
What are some other Gabriel Byrne joints that we didn't say?
War of the Worlds was one.
What?
Black Beauty.
He's in War of the Worlds.
I guess. I don't know. Hold on. Let me.
Probably, I think he might do the voiceover. Like
What's the one?
narration.
He was in a is it a Michael Mann movie where it's like in a temple in Eastern Europe and he plays like a Nazi?
He's in The Man in the Iron Mask. Oh yeah, he is. He definitely is. I know who he is in that.
Are you thinking of The Keep, Harris?
He's in Ghost Ship.
Yeah, is it The Keep?
Stigmata? Ghost Ship, Stigmata. Miller's Crossing, we said. Man in the Iron Mask. Little Women? Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda.
Oh yeah, that's a
shit.
good one. Oh, I would have rather have gotten that one wrong than gotten all the other ones right.
That's
Yeah.
a Patreon movie if I've ever
Yeah.
heard
Well,
of one.
Cool World.
Isn't that also La Femme Nikita?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a La Femme Nikita remake. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Assault on Precinct 13.
The new one, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say he's not in the original one.
Yeah.
He's in a movie called Shade.
This is we're missing the part with all the guys going, ooh, ow, ow, ow,
Yeah.
stop, ow, no, ow.
All right, let's get the loop group in here. Guys, you're gonna do a lot of grunting and you're being
Yeah.
punched repeatedly.
The problem is there's only 2 of them, sir. So
Yeah, this is a scene where I was just like, oh, this is just a brawl where it should have been like much more violent and gory and brutal. And I was
Well, this
disappointed.
is-
And then at the end, I got my payoff. But in this scene, I was just like, oh, I feel like these monkeys should be like just ripping them to shreds.
I love that they don't even use like squibs in this movie. It's like they use editing where like you'll see a close up of an ape's face, and then the last frame of it, there's like blood smeared all over.
It literally
his
looks
face.
like they have a guy right behind the camera with like a can of red paint and he just throws it on someone.
Yeah, classic red paint blood of the era.
well, this is the only movie to not I don't know about Battle, but this was the first one to not get a G rating. So this one got a PG. And they were like, we don't want that hard R. So
Because
no
there was no
swearing.
PG-13.
Right, exactly. So they cut the scene where they skull fuck the guy to death.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Take that, you fucking filthy human bastard!
Take that, you lousy human! I'm gonna skull fuck you.
No, I said
It's just the voice of Dr. Zayas.
Ow, 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 ooh, ow, ow, stop, stop, ow, ow.
Ow, my skull.
My brain. Oh, this death is awesome. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, I was.
This
what-
guy really needed to be lit on fire, though. That's a
He's
big-
I was
terrible.
really
at-
disappointed where we see this gorilla go all the way across the room, and I was disappointed that he like jumps down to the ground and then just kind of sneaks up on him instead of just pouncing on him from far away. And then
Yeah,
I was
he comes from
immediately,
the side.
I was immediately undisappointed when he lit the guy on fire. I was like, oh, well, it all ended the right way.
Okay,
he
so
would
in the
definitely
theatrical,
see
he does
that guy.
not light on fire, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, he really needs to be lit on fire.
Oh, yeah, no, this is
Oh,
important.
Shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
quick.
Either that was not in the theatrical, or I might have dozed off.
Yeah, it would be a shame if you dozed off during the best part.
It's definitely longer than it would have been in the theatrical.
Yeah, let's start pointing out some differences now. If you see things that you don't
So far,
remember.
that's the first one, because
I
I
like
think
it.
most of it is just extra quote unquote gore and the change to the ending, the big change to the ending.
Yeah, I like that the apes who have been conditioned to not be afraid of the fire leap right through the flames, and all the chicken shit guards are like, "Ooh, no fire, that could burn me."
Well, they can sense that banana on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, not enough orangutans in this movie. This is my one critique.
The orangutan costumes are the worst ones, though.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I like that
probably
they
why.
did have some of them though.
I like the lady orangutan in the bookstore at the beginning. I was like, "Oh, a lady orangutan. We haven't seen that yet."
Yeah.
Yeah. The orangutans are always confusing to me what they're supposed to. I mean, I guess in the first one, they're supposed to be like religion, but after that, it's kind of like,
Religion and science somehow in the first one.
Yeah,
that,
but
that was why that's why the society didn't work.
Too. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, but they got this all wrong. Clearly, orangutans are the coolest ape. They're the most chill.
Yep.
I like it when like
chimpanzees suck.
In the in the newer ones they get the orangutans. They got the big like side face. Like the sides on their face.
Yeah. Yes.
That's cool.
I feel like there's a huge like
lack of side face
missed opportunity to have baboon characters.
Oh yeah, we're the baboons,
and they have giant blue asses, and like they're just constantly being made fun of in the ape society.
Rafiki he's a baboon, right?
He's a baboon. Yeah.
What are those ones like the Japanese ones with like the red faces? What are they?
Oh, bonobos.
Bonobos. They could have those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the next Planet of the Apes, when we remake this, it's going to be so much better.
Well, yeah, that was my next question. Is like, if we made this movie, what could we have done differently to make it better? And we kind of already, I think Harris said that like this would be an excellent like 6-part HBO series, or like just this movie, seeing the revolution, and you can make it an allegory for like I don't know anything.
Isn't the first of the 2011 series? Isn't the first one like just this movie? I haven't seen it.
Basically, yeah, it's very similar. It starts off and it's like their explanation's a little bit better. They're doing like experiments on apes trying to make them smarter,
right?
Giving them like
so they can be better butlers.
Yeah,
no, it's to cure Alzheimer's, but yeah,
right.
Better
it
butlers.
is to cure Alzheimer's.
It's to find a better book delivery system.
And their Caesar escapes into the woods and like basically starts his own colony.
Yeah,
with other like smart apes, and thus like by the next movie, there's like tons of.
But like, I've only ever seen the first one of those movies, but just judging by the plot summary of the three of them, it seems like those 3 movies are basically this movie in 3.
Yeah, they just took this idea and ran with it.
Yeah,
I do want to point out that the monkey with the Jimmy Durante nose is actually the proboscis monkey.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
The bonobo is the one that has lots of sex. Yeah.
Oh,
well, yeah. Bonobos are players.
Yeah, they're the closest to us because they have lots of sex.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they like to brag about it online.
But of those new movies,
what are the incel monkeys?
So the first one is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That one's okay. But the next one, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, is like a 9 out of 10. It's like an excellent movie. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And then, you guys haven't seen it?
No. I haven't seen any of
Which
the new
one's Woody Harrelson in?
Woody Harrelson's in the third one,
that's my
which I
favorite.
would say is like a 7 out of 10. Like that one's really
I've
good
never
too.
seen it, but it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because of Woody Harrelson.
The second one's got Gary Oldman.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
he's all right.
Look, even their like
Kelly
helmets
Russell.
look like Nazi helmets.
yeah, they're Nazis.
Yeah, these guys are very Nazi-ish.
Maybe in this world, Nazis
are good.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Everything worked out okay.
Bad. I think we need more Nazis is the issue.
Well, I mean, they run a shopping mall pretty clean.
And the Alex Jones guy is like railing against Nazis on his radio show.
This right here looks like the Century City Mall. It's just like the outdoor, like there's the Amazon store.
This was filmed in Century City.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
it's just
Yeah,
crazy.
they really didn't dress anything up.
There's like the AMC movie theaters like right behind them.
They're like, audiences have never been to Los Angeles.
Go home.
The last movie, excellent LA movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood meets Planet of the Apes.
It is.
I don't really totally understand the ape strategy for this, because like sometimes they just charge and get shot, and sometimes it's like it seems like they're being decoys so people can sneak up on them. But like here, these apes are just getting machine gunned for no reason. They like
These
walk
apes look
and-
like they're about to do the Thriller dance.
Yeah, it did look
Yes.
briefly like that.
Sean, did you just see that face explosion or whatever that just happened?
I did not see a face explosion. I must have censored that with my own eyes.
We didn't frame by frame it, but it did look like somebody just splashed red paint in that monkey.
It was like a blink and you'll miss it. It was literally
Yeah.
like one frame of blood splattering on an ape's face. Like
They're
he got
like, we're
shot
gonna bring
in the face.
Tom Savini in for one shot in Planet of the Apes. It's a head
Well, Tom
explosion.
Savini did Dawn of the Dead, right? Which is like the same year, I think, that this movie came out, or is that come a little later?
Dawn is like 76, 77, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's 80. I don't even. it
This
might be even
movie
later.
feels like the Todd A.O. like film, whatever. Like this has the same exact look as Dawn of the Dead, doesn't it?
I can it's been a long time since I've seen Dawn of the Dead. but
I'd have to
I
compare
think
them.
Look at how much grain is on these nighttime shots too.
Yeah.
Yes, they forgot some lights, apparently.
I mean, like, this is where a lot of the cool stuff happens, but also the movie is kind of dragging because it is, like you said, like, what the hell is the strategy here?
Right.
Because, like, but they're also trying to show us that their strategy is a strategy and is working.
Which an
But-
important element of that would be like to make sure we understand. what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
And then later when they have this moment where there's like this standoff with the cops and Caesar's at the front of the line, and then like they're about to fire and he gives the apes a signal and they basically light up a bunch of fire that they had, a bunch of kerosene that they had spread earlier.
Yeah, but then it doesn't seem like it's actually an advantage. But
Yeah,
because
because it's just kind of a wall of fire between
Yeah.
them and men with guns who are firing through the flames, which actually fire doesn't repel bullets,
Yeah,
so
it
it
does
seems like they
not.
would just get shot anyway.
Damn, we were wrong about the bullets and the fire.
It does
not,
look like
again.
they're just like a big crew just out shopping.
Yeah.
Get the Louis Vuitton store.
It's Black Friday.
I thought ape hours started at midnight.
I've been sleeping for the last 48 hours outside of this Best Buy, and I'll be damned if I don't get a big screen TV and a PlayStation 5. I've been shot.
It's even funnier that he's the only one that can talk. And
Yeah.
he's talking about the Best Buy.
He's upset. He knows a good deal when he fucking sees one.
Yeah. This is 15% off.
15.
50.
He saved $25
We're
of
dying.
$500 PS5.
Yeah, but he convinced all his ape friends to buy them too, and they don't need them, so he's just going to resell those. That's just profit.
Yeah.
Right.
Resell them
Yeah.
at like he marked that up.
Yeah. Contact me on my Discord. I'm selling PS5s. The only place you can find them is with me. And I'm the only one who can talk about them.
His new plan for conquering the humans.
All right, we give up, Caesar. Just give us the PS5.
Damn it, we just want to play The Last of Us.
I'm going to flip PS5s when I have all the money.
And then I'm getting into crypto.
Fortune favors the brave or whatever.
Yeah. What is it, the Lost Apes or the Ape Yacht Club? Well, that's us. Bored apes? We're not bored.
bored of making all this money.
Exactly. We'll just burn you instead.
How is it that the apes did take over the planet, General? Well, they captured the crypto market.
It's
You know, it's
complicated.
funny.
That would be how George Lucas would write this, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's very, very complicated. They started off economically cornering the crypto market. Then there was some intrigue in the Senate.
Yes.
Yeah. 9 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Once they had a quorum.
I'll never forget seeing Phantom Menace in the theater, like being so fucking hyped, and like the opening like scroll comes up, and one of the first words is, or the first sentence is about like the Senate and the blockade and the whatever.
The Trade Federation.
The Trade Federation, and are you just like, I'm a kid in 9th grade or whatever, like what the fuck? This movie's gonna suck.
Can we get back to the space lasers, please?
Where's Han Solo?
Yeah. I think
First you're going to learn about economics in space.
Yeah, I was an adult and I was like, oh God, he fucked it up.
Yeah.
There was so much hype for that too. Like that is,
I don't think any movie has ever had more hype.
yeah. And there was like people that were so committed to the hype that even after they watched it and it sucked, they were like,
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was the best one, really.
Oh, that was definitely me. I was like, I don't know if I said it was the best one, but I was like, it actually captured the spirit of Star Wars well.
And now you look back at it, you're like, what? No.
There's like those famous that
you don't have to hate it, but you definitely, it's hard to defend. You know,
there's like footage that exists on YouTube now of like people getting interviewed after seeing it for the first time. They're like, my mind is blown. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there's probably
the Darth
too
Maul
many...
shit was cool.
Everyone does love that Darth Maul fight.
Yeah, it was almost a
redeemed.
shame that Darth Maul was in such a shitty movie.
Everyone loves at least half of that Darth Maul fight, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Get it?
Yeah, I was pissed off that they killed him off. I thought he was going to be the persistent like villain throughout.
Well, he
the
didn't
whole
have
Well,
any.
he-
He didn't
you
have
know.
any character, but it was like a menacing idea of a thing.
Yeah, but at
What
least
about
the original
Trade
series had Darth
Federations?
Vader as like the villain throughout
Right,
all
yeah.
three.
Right.
They didn't have
Yeah.
that.
But in the second movie, they did form the Techno Union, which was, my favorite part of it. And
There was
the
a
mind,
raid?
the bank, yeah,
There was a
the
raid in that
banking,
one?
yeah, the Techno Union, the banking clan.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
far,
I
I'm
mean,
not seeing a whole lot more violence in
it's all
this.
the
Oh, it's coming.
it's all the lobbying
Alright.
groups in the Star Wars universe that I was interested in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The aforementioned butter churning scene is coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is where they really start to get brutal. As soon as these guys start getting beat to death with their own riot shields, that's
Yeah.
when the movie sort of takes a turn.
Yeah, a lot of these guys aren't even fighting back anymore.
yeah. But I mean, I think honestly though, this is pretty cool. Like, I think that for a Planet of the Apes movie during the 1970s, like, it's pretty radical.
I
Like,
wanna
maybe not super in depth or anything, but like, all these movies are kind of saying something, and this one's saying something about revolution and race and oppression and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's this is my thing with this whole series is I feel like it's like they had a great jumping off point where they made a really good sci-fi movie where it had a great concept, it had a message, and it was really well executed, and it had a twist ending that apparently was a surprise to some people. That blood spurt was pretty cool.
That
When
was
you hit
pretty
that guy in
awesome,
the face.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great. And then it's like every time they had to make a sequel and come up with a reason to justify the sequel, it's like slightly diminishing returns. And what I respect about it is that they are always trying to say something, and they're never giving up. They're like still trying to like have interesting twists and find new social messages to sort of work in there. But it can't help but be a little lamer every time because they're trying to like shoehorn stuff into like just trying to create reasons for sequels is hard enough.
I will go with this one and the third one over the second one, though it's been about 1 billion years since I've seen the second.
Yeah,
one,
the second
so,
one's fucking bizarre.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
It's
just going to
maybe
say
it's-
it's
yeah.
hard to fathom like if you watch this movie for the first time and we're like, oh yeah, this is one of the sequels to Planet of the Apes. It almost like feels like it's not from the same universe. It's like
This is why we've talked about this before, how I never was interested in watching these movies. And a lot of it was that, like, when I would see parts of these ones, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like there's no consistency. They're, like, reinventing things every time. And that could have been a mistaken presumption that I was making. But as it turns out, it was actually 100% accurate. They are literally, like, reinventing these movies the world changes, everything changes. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was what turned me off about it.
It gives them an opportunity to do like a new like sci-fi message with each film, which is kind of cool. You
is
treat
cool.
it like an anthology almost in some ways.
Yeah.
yeah, it's we've talked about this in previous episodes, but like one of the reasons I picked this series is because of the cohesion of the whole thing. But like, yeah, I mean, the conclusion I think we're coming to as we like are breaking these movies down is like, I think the biggest detriment to them is the years in which they were made. If these movies were made even in like the 1980s, I feel like, and if they kept the same like vibe, they would have looked so much better and like just been so much like grimier. Like the 80s, like imagine if like David Cronenberg made Planet of the Apes,
Yeah.
We definitely would have gotten our skull fucking. I hear you. I like the 60s and 70s vibe to it, and I think that because that was such a tumultuous time of, social change, that it lends something
nasty right here.
Oh, fuck.
that was definitely not in the
Boom, shot right in the
theatrical cut.
face.
We're watching when the governor shoots,
personally
a
executes a
gorilla.
gorilla.
In the face.
Yeah.
Like he
Points
gets
blank
down
range.
like in a kneeling position and puts the gun
While the
like,
gorilla is being held down by other people.
close range. Oh, there's another
yeah.
There's
one.
another one, yeah.
Yeah, well, this makes his death at the end all the more justified.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they, when in the spoiler, in the theatrical one, they spare his life, but they also cut that scene. So I don't know.
He was an
Definitely go
asshole
with
in
the
both of them,
yeah.
but-
I was reading,
Definitely go with the director's cut if you can.
I was reading that in the theatrical cut, like they did not have the footage of them sparing his life, so it's all done in
dubbed.
like an extreme close up of Caesar's eyes, right?
Exactly.
Is that true?
And they
So
dubbed new
he
lines.
starts giving
Yeah.
a completely different, like it sounds different. His voice it's kind of like Blade Runner-y voiceover almost, but it's supposed to be him speaking, but they just zoom in on his eyes and they then run the gun butts in reverse to show them sparing his life as opposed to pounding him to death.
they're pulling the blood back into him.
Yeah. I'm not dead yet. Yeah, no, he's I didn't really notice it until last night, but it is pretty noticeable that something weird is happening, and I immediately was like, oh, this must be an alternate ending.
Yeah, it's I briefly watched the other one, but I like the unrated one better. It's so this was like the payoff I was hoping for, like when they're like they're strangling corpses.
Yeah,
and,
they're just killing people
it's
left
great.
and
They're killing
right.
people all over the place. It's awesome. And it's what you were like if you're cheering for the injustice that has been visited on these apes and what an asshole they make this governor out to be. The entire movie, even if it didn't murder that gorilla, he was already an asshole, and it's so cathartic to see them just absolutely murder everyone. It's kind of what you were cheering for. It was what you were hoping for. So I think it's bizarre that they didn't have it originally. The other thing too, Matt, we were talking about, like with every movie, the budget just got lower and lower, which I think it factors into the decline of this franchise.
Yeah, didn't they? I thought I read that originally this director wanted to like go all the way into the nuclear war that like caused the mass extinction of most of the rest of humanity, but they were like, no, we'll just do the shopping mall instead.
We'll just imply that the rest of it happens with his speech at the end.
Yeah. You wouldn't see the nuclear war until Terminator 3, a movie with me where I'm a cop playing the robot.
I love the liberties that they take with his speech at the end. He's like, this, like ape word spreads really fast. And like, with us doing this today, like this will happen tomorrow in Houston and New York and whatever. Like he says something like that.
Yes.
The weirdest part of the whole
I'd love to see that
me,
Houston ape with a big hat.
Yeah, they wear hats there. The weirdest part of the whole speech to me is that what is the name? McDonald is just standing to the side the whole time and like occasionally asking a question, but he definitely has that look on his face like, should I go? Or
That's his look for everything in this movie. That's what I mean. He has no reaction to anything.
We're cool, right?
like, should I go home or like, can I get a ride?
Am I part of the ape revolution?
Does McDonald have like a wife at home or what? Like what's
Yeah,
what is
exactly.
his home
Yeah.
life? Does he
Honey,
live
you'll
here?
never guess what happened today.
I want that scene so bad.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. I gotta talk to you about work today.
Yeah, did you see that ape revolution on TV?
I
Well,
didn't get fired.
I
but
helped.
I don't have a job anymore.
No, turns out I'm the second lieutenant to the ape governor now.
He just walks in. He walks in. He closes the door. He's like, his wife storms in. She's like, "You're late, and you didn't call, honey. I had a day at work."
Yeah. Just
This is pretty brutal right here.
Yeah.
You know my boss, the governor. Well, they all kind of gathered around him, and they just kept beating him until he was like
Mush.
Just mush. just mush. Most of them just ran into the storm drain.
Oh,
If it wasn't for the clothes, I don't think there would have been anything left.
Well, you should have called.
Honey, look at my suit, honey. See this right here? This is Dave.
This is his brain matter.
This is his brain.
It's always Dave. Dave.
All right, so they are like just beating the.
Oh yeah, that's where you just got a
this is
pile
great.
of, just got a mulched up pile of bloody bodies.
Yeah.
See, at this point though, I don't know why they're even sparing the governor. They're
They've
beating everyone. to death.
They've killed everyone else.
Why are they wait?
Yeah, no, the worst guy you always have to let. You know,
Okay,
that's
right.
yeah. You always have to let the worst one live if you're gonna be like a moral, upright citizen.
See, and in this unrated one, they
I
keep,
like you, Sally. I'll kill you last.
I lied.
No.
They keep hinting that like the female ape is gonna do something here. So I was like fully expecting her to just cry no or whatever, but it just doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
It is confusing because they do have the footage of her saying no. So and all this footage of her looking at things like
It's like if
happening.
you're gonna cut her saying no in the unrated version, then cut all this other stuff of her having looks of like she's gonna do something.
Well,
you know?
Exactly.
maybe the original version was Caesar's like, perhaps I'll let you live, and then she's like, no. And it's like, yeah, okay,
Kill them.
kill them all.
See, like he's doing that clutching his chest thing right here. Like his stance is cool. He just
it's
looks
very cool.
He just looks insane.
This is a great. I mean, the imagery here is pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, it's no notes on this. The ending of this,
But clearly they did have notes. They were like, "Don't kill the guy."
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But like once they take the acetylene torch and break into the underground bunker, from then to the end of this movie, the director's cut version, I'm like, yeah, you nailed the ending. So good for them for sticking the landing. I was constantly throughout this thing was like wanted to like this so much. I wanted this to be like The Exorcist 2 of this franchise, where I just inexplicably was like, this is the best one.
Oh my
and
God.
it was so close to there, except that there was too much dumb and too much cheap, and it just kept on like getting to me.
It looks like he's about to catch on fire the whole time. Like, wouldn't you like to see like an outtake where he's like, "Oh, my jumpsuit, it's on fire."
I like this line. My
monkey
people
wig.
will crouch and conspire and plot and plan from this day forward for the inevitable day of man's downfall. The day when he finally and self-destructively turns his weapons against his own kind. I'm just reading the subtitles here.
Cheeky monkey.
Oh, this shot is cool right here. When they all raise their guns slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really like wants the apocalypse.
Yeah, he's into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a bad day.
I've joined a death cult now.
Yeah.
We're called Apes Gate.
Apes Skate.
Apes Gate.
Not Ape Skate, which is a really
That's the club
that's
that we do
so-
afterwards, where we
so-
all go to skate around the park.
really fun night. It's Tuesdays.
Ape Xanadu.
Yeah.
I would love to see all this movie, but with the apes roller skating.
Yes.
I don't know
Definitely.
how to work it into the script, but
Well,
it needs to happen.
Xanadu meets Planet of the Apes would be very cool.
Yeah, well, that was the original alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I believe we've talked about, was an orangutan in a latex bodysuit on roller skates.
Xanet of the Apes.
No.
Well, this guy looks like he's about to die here.
It's like, oh, poo.
Bathroom break?
He has some really like 1973 sideburns.
Mm-hmm. The sideburns were
those.
big in this movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
clearly they were like, you know what's going to happen in the 90s?
Sideburns
are
and
back.
turtlenecks.
They were kinda
Sideburns
right.
and turtlenecks,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they were not wrong. They were not
Let's
100%
churn the
wrong.
butter.
Yeah.
Oh, they really mash them good. Oh my God. Shrieking continues, says the
Yeah.
captions. I bet.
So what happens in the theatrical is she says no, and then we get a whole speech about I will spare you to this day, and we'll live a more kind way than you ever did for us. It's just nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, because like minutes after he was like, just kidding, I'm going to murder you as soon as we
Yeah.
get somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to
This
do it
is
in
just
front
so
of
much-
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, so much better to end
Yes.
like this.
Very good.
It doesn't really. I mean, I don't know. The ultra violence like doesn't really fit with the rest of the series. They haven't really ever taken it this far, but
They nuked the whole planet in the second one.
It is a pleasing ending. Yeah, I guess.
This is the one,
Yeah.
but this is the ultra violence that leads to the Planet of the Apes. You know, this is how they get there, is some violence. You can't make a Planet of the Apes without breaking some human skulls.
Breck.
Well, actually,
That's the guy's name.
most of the Planet of the Apes was formed on the floor of the Senate.
Yes.
There's some back dealing and
Back channeling, yes.
skullduggery and
A vote of no confidence.
yeah.
Oh my god, she's terrible in that scene.
Ugh.
All righty. Well, that was
A movie.
something of Planet of the Apes.
Really good
Credits
movie.
are so short.
Yeah, it was like, here's what you need to know. these 8 people,
Three people
these
worked
8
on this
people
movie.
made this movie, and
Life was better before unions, let me tell you.
also the declining budget probably meant that there weren't that many more people working on this movie. Oh yeah, and there was roughly 1,000 uncredited ape extras,
I mean, they were in masks.
What are the
and
special
most of them weren't
features?
even doing good ape walks. So fuck them.
The ongoing like behind the scenes documentary that's on all these movies is like these 3 dorks who like have nothing to do with the movie. They're all like guys who wrote like books about the history of these movies. One guy has like a ponytail. Like they just look like just nerds, you know. And they're like, well, this movie really spoke to the civil rights movement.
You know, when I was a boy, people with ponytails were cool. Nerds
Yeah.
would never have ponytails.
Well, let's hope that those dudes aren't making a movie about us right now, because we may not come out looking so fresh.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, D-Box.
Whoa. I don't think we can use D-Box. We don't have our D.
Shut up,
D
Colin.
sticks.
Yeah. Colin, speak for yourself.
I'm, like, ruining
I can
this
use my
entire fucking
D-Box.
What the fuck is D-Box?
I'll punch you in your D-Box. Is that what you just said?
No one's punching anyone in their D-Box.
Oh, man. I've heard about the D-Box, though. Seriously, guys. You got to try it. Oh, my God.
What is this? Future newspaper?
Governor seized in revolt of the apes.
Oh, wow. Revolt of the Apes.
The most awesome spectacle in the annals of motion pictures?
The
What?
most exciting ape venture ever.
Wow, this is horrible. And now I'm stuck.
Oh,
in
they
this
don't know
one.
Armando's last name. Oh my God,
I don't
that's
think
terrible.
I can't move
All right,
from this.
let's
Doesn't have a
sum up
last
our for everyone at home. Do not go to your special features. of
Should
Planet
we
of the Apes.
spin
It's
Sean around so he doesn't have
it's
to look
terrible.
at this horseshit?
No, it's all right. It's kind of reminding me of the Encarta days.
I can't fix
yeah,
it.
really? Yeah, seriously.
Carta.
Oh my God,
I can't
It
fix
really
it. I
is.
can't make it
no,
do anything.
it's
else.
broken. You've broken the DVD.
Oh,
Do
here
not
we go.
use the special features. It just
Oh
breaks
my
them.
God, I went to
Oh.
the.
We're back to the main. We're back to the DVD
fucking
Blu-ray
software.
menu. All right.
Okay, we'll
I
turn
think
it around.
I've said everything that I really wanted to say about this. I feel like it is a. I don't remember what my scores for any of the other movies were, but I was both very intrigued by this and thought it seemed like a lot of fun, and also disappointed again and again by how dumb and shitty it became. Which, you know, it's tough to juggle those two emotions of like, this is like conceptually, this could have been a really fun movie. And I think a lot of the things they did were right. And great Roddy McDowall performance. Love the ending of the director's cut. Absolutely fantastic. And yet there was so much dumb and unexplained shit. And the production value just keeps getting lower. They shot it all in the same shitty place that we've all seen before. And the masks are terrible. But all that notwithstanding, I'm going to give this, I think, a pretty generous 6 Timothy Dolphins.
Nice.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't boring. It was fine, and all the marks against it are offset by some pretty interesting marks for it. Worth watching.
I'll go. I'm also going to give it a 6 Timothy Dolphins. Something I appreciate is any movie that has 3 or more jumpsuits of any kind.
Well, you're overshooting that over under by like 1,000.
Yeah, we got like 100 jumpsuits in this thing. I love the.
Should we get jumpsuits? I feel like we should get jumpsuits for the podcast.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Like
100%
Slipknot
agree.
style. We get like different masks and stuff too.
Or would you get like the colorful ones like they have here?
Like
Yeah.
red, green, and blue.
But should they match?
The red, green, and
yellow, I think.
Yellow?
All right, we got to
Yeah.
discuss this
Or
further.
it's like orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I got to find a job first.
Oh,
before we
I
get
had a
jobs.
friend. I had a friend who, when I lived in Austin, he wore jumpsuit every day.
It's a good look. He clearly saw
Yeah.
Bottle Rocket and
Yeah,
was like,
he for
"This
sure
is the
did.
way to go."
Do you remember Dickies, like the pants?
Yes.
Dickies, and they made like
They make
a
nice
jumpsuit.
jumpsuits.
They still
yeah.
exist,
I mean,
yeah.
that's kind of what we should get. I think is just
Yeah.
Dickies, some Dickies.
Dickies. They're so heavy. I feel like we'll be sweating. In them.
Yeah, plenty of room for
They're
your
good.
D-box in there.
Yeah.
yeah, very good. Good callback.
D-box. Yeah.
Sorry, Colin. Are you finished?
Yep, plenty of room for your D-box in there was the last thing I had to say. Someone else can talk.
His final thoughts.
No, I think that was enough. I think we pretty much
That's
said all
everyone's
their-
final thoughts on Conquest of Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes.
summed up my thoughts pretty well with that last sentence.
Sean, why don't you give us your thoughts on this movie?
Oh, well, besides the D box, I think that yeah, I mean, I always have a soft spot in my heart for this movie. I think it's pretty simple but pretty powerful, especially the director's cut. It is not as good as I remember, especially the middle should be probably longer, and it's pretty simplistic in some of its dialogue. But I'm gonna give it I give a 6 to the theatrical, 6.5 Timothy Dolphins for the directors. However, I did find a guy on Letterboxd today who's watched this movie no less than 15 times since 2007, and I want to give shouts out to him for being such a devoted Conquest of the Planet of the Apes
Wow.
guy. First of all, I don't know anyone who had a Letterboxd account starting in 2007, so he's really dedicated. But
Early
to watch
adapter, yeah.
Conquest 15 times in the last 15 years, that's once a year as far as my math can figure out.
So I think we're going with the unrated version as like the definitive one, since that's the one we all watch. So your final score
6.5, yeah.
6.5 for sure.
I'm kind of like wondering if the last movie, you know, if it matters like which version we watch for the plot of the last movie, but I'm pretty sure it won't. Like from what we've seen already.
I don't know what you just said, but
Like you know, because like in this one, like his name was supposed to be Aldo, or it was supposed to be Milo. And they
I
just
can't wait
made
to
it
hear what his
Caesar.
name is in the last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty unfamiliar with the last one. I think that's the only one I've either never seen or like even as a kid, like watching it, I was like, this is boring, and I stopped watching it. So we have that to look forward to.
Yeah, I remember nothing.
You're
I'm
really
very
selling it
curious.
for me, Matt.
I'm very curious how it plays for y'all, because I remember not liking it either as a kid. I remember being like, this is no battle for the Planet of the Apes that I envisioned. I'm going to go live that in my basement now.
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't have a lot of friends back then. So.
like this is pretty much the battle
Oh
that we
my
just
God.
saw, right? There's
Although you, in fairness, you just admitted that you were also like the Phantom Menace. Pretty great.
Yeah, that's
so maybe you've grown. Maybe you've changed.
yeah, that's a good point.
I just remember this story. I guess it's not that relevant. So I don't know. Sorry.
Since when has that ever stopped you?
All right. So like there was this girl I knew in high school, and you know, like every once in a while.
What was her name?
I don't know if I should say.
Oh, you definitely should.
Her name was Caesar.
Her name was in fact Caesar. No.
She's never going to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, no, she probably won't. But it's not important really for the story.
Lucinda Brattleboro.
let's
yeah,
just call her Brittany.
Sure, Brittany Caesars.
Little Britney Caesars.
Little Caesars, we called her.
Little
She
Caesars.
would always bring pizza and then
Yeah, I'm
pizza
getting
again.
hungry for pizza right now.
Right. Anyways, like
We've made this dumb, boring story even dumber and longer.
And more
I
boring.
apologize.
there's not much to the story.
Can't wait to keep hearing
So
more of
like
that.
every once in a while she had people over to like her den or whatever, and it was like an attic type of one, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Attic den, yes.
Yeah, and it was like, like there's like 2-3 couches where like people could all sit around there or whatever, but she always had like a plush stuffed gorilla, but it was the size of a human being.
Oh yeah, one of those giant ones.
Yeah, and it was super awkward because I swear every time I went there, I was like, "Is there a man hiding inside that stuffed gorilla about to like get up right now?" Like,
Did anybody use that gorilla as a chair? I feel like I knew girls who had giant stuffed gorillas, and somebody would always use the gorilla as a chair if a bunch of people were
I'm
there.
pretty sure I just saw its eyes move.
I had this theory that it was like her dad, and like her dad was just really overprotective. And
My dad-
she was like,
Let's
"Dad,
play Truth or Dare. You just hear like,
yeah.
My dad recently in life purchased a similar thing, but it was a giraffe.
but it was a sex doll.
Yeah, a life-size one. Have you seen these?
It was a giant stuffed gorilla with real anatomy. You know, their penises are not that big.
By comparison to humans, of course. No,
They
he has
all
like,
are in therapy.
Yeah, he has like a giraffe. I mean, like a giraffe-sized plush giraffe. And every time I call him up on the Zoom, there's like a giraffe that in the background of his house that's like the size of a small giraffe. And he's like, "Do you see my giraffe?" And I'm like, "Yes."
I've been calling him son.
He's replaced you now.
Yeah. I'm much prouder of him
Listen,
than
you
I
are.
am of
I just want you to know, Sean, you are still in the will, but so is my other son.
Here's the situation.
Jeffrey.
The will is atop a very tall tree, and whoever can reach it gets the cash. Jeffrey, why don't you go first?
I leave my epic fortune to my son, my beloved only son, Giraffe Boy.
Oh man,
Matt, did you give your Timothy Dolphin rating?
No, I'll do it.
All right. I think
Oh
we should
yeah,
do
well
that.
make sure we can't lick it.
What is?
What giraffes have long tongues?
No, what
Oh, that's such a stretch.
That's,
Oh, that was good.
oh man, there we go. You really stuck your neck out for that one.
Hey, what about giraffe penis? Is that a joke?
Is that a thing? Can we work that in? I think we're getting a little punchy.
I don't
here.
know. That's a tall order, guys.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's how we do it, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's been a long, long podcast, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, I like this movie. I remember as a kid remembering that this one is one of the better ones, and I was not mistaken. It's fun. It's short. It's cool looking. It's got all it's got all of the things a movie needs. Short,
Fun,
and
short,
cool
and cool
looking.
looking.
Hey, you got any more of them short and cool looking movies in that theater?
Matt's favorite movies are actually just music videos.
Yeah. But as we've established on this show before, I do love a long, boring movie as well. So I don't know.
He's a real mystery.
This is a bit of an anomaly. This one.
He's a moving target. Sorry, filmmakers and entertainment executives.
Yeah.
You're never
Well,
going to get the Matt
you
McGregor
can't please
demographic
me.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, today Matt was looking for more of a long movie, and we tried more of a short, cool movie. And
Ours
Ours
was cool looking.
It
though.
was short and fun, but also boring.
yeah, I thought that he might want more about trade federations to increase the length, but
I feel like
turned out he just wants
I love that in
space
this whole thing
He
that
wanted
we're putting out
bludgeonings.
there, like the movie makers, like the studios are just making movies for one person.
Yeah. They're like, we can get
How's
we
how's Matt feeling about Star Wars?
could
today?
crack
Maybe we'll
the-
make another one.
crack the McGregor code here.
I've got $200 million to burn. What's Matt feeling like?
Just like some nerd rushing in every day. I don't get this guy. Yesterday it was bludgeonings and a bunch of bright red blood, and today it's long and boring.
I feel
He's my white whale.
He's my white giraffe.
I feel like my analysis was actually really consistent then. Having jumpsuits is good.
Yeah, you're easy to please. There's no crack team of investigators trying to figure out how to get you involved.
Yeah.
Like jumpsuits. This guy's
There's
just
studio
all
execs like jumping out windows left and right. Like, we can't crack the code.
Maybe we should just appeal to the Shaw demographic. No, he's a one of one.
Yeah. Our movie passes the Shaw Dectel test. It's got plenty of jumpsuits and jumpsuit related conversation.
It's 8 hours long and it's all jumpsuits.
There's 75 bad puns in this one.
Colin's gonna love it, and nobody else will.
It's called Jumpsuit Penis. Is that working for anyone?
Yeah, it's best just to get right to the point sometimes. Yeah.
Jumpsuit penis coming next summer.
Yeah. Jumpsuit Penis 2, the D-Box.
Oh,
This one's going to have the D-Box in it. I can't wait to watch it. I've been waiting for the D-Box since the first Jumpsuit Penis.
Can I pre-buy my ticket?
the D-Box in IMAX is really something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hear actually they're giving away D-Boxes at McDonald's for the new Jumpsuit Penis movie.
Yeah. But not in the Happy Meals because those are for kids.
Yeah. We can't put the penis
You don't
in
want
the
the
Happy Meal.
You don't want the D-Box in the kids' meals.
Yeah.
Daddy, can I have a D-Box? Shut up, kid.
Not until you're 18, son. That's when I got mine.
Can I have a taste of your D-Box?
For now, just play with your brother, this giant giraffe.
Matt, how many Timothy Dolphins do you give this movie?
6. I give it 6.
That's almost a quorum.
Almost, yeah.
I'm sorry I threw it off.
That's okay. Honestly, I would feel bad if everyone just gave it a 6. I feel like it was a tinge better.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic. Well, Sean Jarrett, sorry to hear that most of your family is afflicted with the COVID-19
Oh yeah.
virus.
Tough situation, but we'll get through it.
Or it's just a really good lie, so you didn't have to drive all the way to college.
Either way.
Let me check the map. Oh, I've got the COVID.
I have AIDS.
Oh, we're all coming down with something.
Yeah.
Really, for your safety.
Yeah, that price of gas is making me feel sick.
Yeah, it's so sad. I filled up earlier today, and it was like $5.09, and I was like fucking
For the whole
thrilled.
thing? That's good.
That's actually cheap.
For a gallon. I was so ecstatic. I was like, "Yay, $5! We're back in business, baby!
Yeah.
Come on, America!"
This gas is too expensive. Give these people gas. They don't have enough.
Damn it, Cohagen. Give these people gas.
They need the gas to live.
I'm a cop and you're the devil.
I'm a cop and you are Cohagen. Who is also the devil?
Well, Sean, do you have anything fun you're working on or anything you want to plug?
I mean, nothing fun, but you know.
You're always working on cool stuff.
Good pitch. I'm in.
Yeah, no, I mean, just look up my name. It's spelled SEAN, not SHAWN or any of those other ways. And just look up Sean. Just type Sean into Google.
See what comes up.
Yeah, continue your journey.
That's me.
Yeah, exactly. And look up the next one. It's called Jumpsuit D-Box Penis.
Good pitch. This is
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
think we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, look for it. Look for it on your various devices.
Yeah, I think it's a Roku original though, so that's gonna be a little bit tough. There, it's a niche
You
audience.
can only watch it on your phone.
It's actually only something that comes if you don't disable your cookies. That's the only way to watch it. Just infiltrates your hard drive.
Yeah,
it's like that U2 album. It's just going to appear on your phone.
You won't be able to get rid of it. It'll autoplay basically every time you unlock your screen.
Do I love U2 now? All of a sudden, I have their latest album. I must have been blackout drunk last night and downloaded it.
Every time I delete it, it just comes back louder.
What's this D-Box jumpsuit penis thing on my phone? I guess I like it.
I guess.
I must be its biggest fan.
I don't know.
I downloaded it in my sleep.
Yeah.
It's a weird name for a U2 album.
Not really.
Yeah. I wish I could do a Bono impression because I feel like D-Box jumpsuit penis.
D-Box, Joshua Tree? What's the difference?
Yeah. Joshua Penis. Is that
That's not a joke.
a joke?
Those are just 2 words.
Just 2 words.
Oh, God.
All right. Let's end this thing.
It's a miracle that we've gotten this far and none of us are drunk. And this is all
Speak for yourself.
dead sober people at home. This is what we're like, dead sober.
We usually like to sing a song that takes us out, but there were no songs in this movie.
The Sean Jarrett entrance music, I'm Every Woman or whatever.
I'm every woman. It's all in me.
I don't know that.
Anything you want done, baby.
Oh my God, he's climbing the top rope. He's going to give it to every woman.
Oh.
He's got a giant giraffe with him.
Oh.
I'm every woman. It's all in.
Who let the dogs out?
Thanks everybody for listening, and please remember to rate, review, and subscribe if you like listening to us talk about your favorite film franchises. As always, thank you to Chris Morocco for banging out another classic remix for this series, and please remember to subscribe to our Patreon for just $1 a month over at www.patreon.com/L2W. That's www.patreon.com/L2W. Help support our podcast by joining, and you will get instant access to over 50 bonus shows that feature us covering non-franchise classics and so much more every single month. Again, that website to join is www.patreon.com/L2W. This show is a part of the Fandom Limb podcast network, so please be sure to check out some of their other awesome shows, and be sure to join us next time for our final installment of the Apes series, Battle for the Planet of the Apes.